My name's Sabrina. I am 45 years old. I'm from Mount Angel, Oregon. I'm the director of nursing here at Providence Benedictine Nursing Center.
My name is Rachel Erickson. I am 36 years old. I am from Olympia, Washington. I was the former director of nursing at Mother Joseph Care Center for almost 3 years, and I just moved into the regional director of nursing role. Me and Sabrina have known each other for many years.
How long have you been actually with Providence, Rachel?
For almost going on 16 years now. I started over at St. Peter's in Olympia, Washington at the hospital as a CNA and worked in the ER, and then got my LPN, and the hospital wasn't hiring LPNs at the time. So I went across the street to Providence Mother Joseph Care Center and never left. How about you, Sabrina?
I've been with Providence Benedictine for 20 years, but I started here in 2001 as a CNA. I actually took the CNA class here at Providence Benedictine, and then worked as a CNA for 6 years, went to nursing school, got my LPN, worked as an LPN while I was getting my associates. I worked as an RN for actually 5 years on the floor here. I went into the assistant director of nursing for just about a year, and then I've currently been in this role for 5 years. So what led you to come to nursing in general?
I had a lot of elderly grandparents that we were really close to, and I was always part of kind of their care at the end. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So I knew nursing was going to be the one for me. So that's when I started taking my CNA class. I actually took it my senior year of high school. So when I graduated with my diploma, I also had my CNA certification. And I started working at assisted living that was right next to St. Peter's Hospital. And then I went over to the hospital so I could start working kind of an off schedule so I can go through school full time, because you can't really do that working banker hours. So I had to take the night shift and go to school during day shift. I'm surprised I survived, but
yeah, I wanted to be an artist when I was in high school.
Ooh, an artist.
I actually found myself around the age of 21 having a child with severe disabilities, cerebral palsy, very medically fragile. And being around the staff that cared for her led me to want to be in healthcare somehow. The opportunity was here, and so I was able to take that.
And actually, that I think back and kind of we're talking about this, I really got motivated to be a nurse when I was about 16 years old, and I was with my great grandma at St. Peter's Hospital, and she was transitioning end of life. And I remember the doctor coming in, and he wasn't very personable and, kind of rough around the edges. He was very nice, but just not a very good bedside manner. Mm-hmm. And then the nurse came in, and she was phenomenal. But she was so phenomenal with my grandma and just our whole family. I was like, oh, that's an art in itself to just comfort people in that time where it's, really troubling. She actually inspired me to be a nurse.
I had kind of a similar experience once I was in the role of as a CNA. There was a specific patient, a little bit younger, and her parents were really involved with her. They were here every single day, and they kept telling me, oh, you should be a nurse. You should be a nurse. And I was like, I'm good where I am. They actually brought me in application to the local community college and said, you need to fill this out and start taking classes. So I was like, well, okay, here we go. So that's where my journey started with the actual nursing piece of it.
What made you stay?
But through my whole journey here, I've had some times where my personal life has been really tough, and being able to come here to the family that I've made here, thinking about the mission and our core values, it really makes me feel like it's where I belong. It's a supportive environment. It also is such a good feeling, the things that we do for the geriatric population. When I was a CNA, and I had quit here actually in October of 2006, because I had gotten into the nursing program and I just wasn't sure that I would be, staying here. I really kind of wanted to be in a hospital. And I just decided that I needed to come back. And I was given some extra time to really be home with my daughter, be an advocate for her. As I said, she was, severely, a lot of problems medically. There'd be times when I could not find a babysitter. I would bring her to the nursing center. One of the nurse's daughters would just wheel her around while I was working. I did get some extra time to be able to be with my daughter. I actually didn't pass the first term of nursing school.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was actually when I came back, and I was like, oh my goodness, now what am I going to do? So Providence Benedictine welcomed me back with open arms, even though I had thought I was not going to stay. Just about a month later, my daughter passed away, and unexpectedly. And this place was so supportive of me. They were one of the first organizations that sent me flowers. They gave me the time I needed. I know that they prayed for me and my family. When it was time for me to come back, which I did just about a month later as a CNA again, they were so supportive and gave me the time I needed if I needed to leave the floor for a little while. It was just a really great experience. But I got back in nursing school. I finished with great grades, finished all of it. Yeah, it was a very eye-opening experience and kind of humbling because I thought, I'm just going to get through this. I'm going to be a nurse and everything's going to be just wonderful. And well, kind of got that. And no, you're not. Not right now. It's not your time. But that gave me some extra time, to do some advocating with my daughter at the state capitol and really gave me a voice. That was exciting. That voice that I got to use with her, I've brought back to me as a nurse. Being on the floor for those 5 years, I feel like it just made me confident in being able to speak up and do what I could to live the mission here and to know that we could get through anything. Back then, I thought it was hard. Right? Yeah.
What would you say to a student coming in? What would you say to them to come to a skilled nursing facility? Because we need them. We need them so bad.
You're lucky to enter a field where there's so many different specialties. Our geriatric population, skilled nursing, long-term care, assisted living, they're a specialty. To think of it not as a stepping stone, but the start of your foundation where you can grow here.
Yeah, I don't think you'll find another place of employment that really leans into leading with love. I would say Providence has so many opportunities for a CNA to grow. They help pay for my schooling. I just, graduated with my bachelor's at St. Martin's. I never thought I'd be going to university. Just because of the cost and because of the partnership with St. Martin's and Providence, it was affordable and I was able to make it happen. And you won't find that anywhere else. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunity that I've had at Providence.